Yes, I want to start too soon. and I
You're
get-
good now.
All right. Okay, and is it 6:30?
Oh, you got about 30 seconds.
All right. I want to be good, I don't want to mess up.
It'll come off and on. I
It's gotta
think
go
you
on
can
and
go
off.
Oh,
whenever
gotcha,
you're ready.
okay.
When it comes on again, you're live.
Yep.
That's what I thought, yeah, it goes off.
Yes,
Okay, here we
I'm
go.
on the meeting.
All right, good evening. I'd like to call this regular meeting of the North Branford and Conservation Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Agency to order. Again, this meeting on Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023, at approximately 6:30 PM. Just like to do a roll call of everyone seated here this evening. To my left, we have Town Attorney Brian Leclerc. We have regular members Frank Borgano and Ashley Joyner. To my right, we have Marie Diamond, who's our liaison for the Town Council, David Perkins, who's our Town Planner and Wetlands Administrator. I'm Steve Scavo. I'm chairman for this evening's meeting.
And on the phone?
And on the phone is, I always forget, sorry, poor Jerry. Jerry, and
Thank you,
remember,
Steve.
sorry, Jerry, I'm getting a little old and senile, but
I know, I'm
Jerry
looking a little
Fishbeck.
thin this evening.
That's okay.
And Michelle's here now.
And we also have, it looks like, Recording Secretary Michelle Pollock. All right, so let's go and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of
United States of America,
and to the republic
for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next item would be the minutes, but I think we might need a motion to table it because they need to be revised,
Yeah, I make a
modified,
motion to table the minutes so they can be rewritten
in the minutes of January
for
25th.
January
Gotcha.
25th, right?
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Aye.
Those will be tabled and redone. Very good. Next, we have item 4 under old business, but we
I
were
move
going,
to table for old business.
okay. We have a
Second.
second, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, so we're tabling old business, and then we're gonna go to item 5, which is new business, which would be item A, application 2022-19, 626 Forest Road Site Plan, proposed depositing of clean fill in a drainage ditch after the fact, within 200 feet of the Farm River. Owner applicant, Chris Ann and Richard Vo.
So-
We should proceed next, you guide me, Dave, whatever, what you want to do next.
I did pass out to you guys today, I'm not sure if you saw it, but there was a memo from the town engineer mentioning hay bale check dams to be put downstream of the culvert to slow down the water and to put a seed mixture in. Missing from that was some sort of a splash pad
Or riprap.
or riprap at the culvert. And the reason he omitted that primarily was that the size of the splash pad was something that we could not determine as the town. It's based on the flow of the water, the size of the culvert, the size of the storm. There's some calculations that need to be done to figure out engineering-wise what that needs to be. And we didn't really think it was the town's obligation. I did talk to Chris about it today. She is willing to come up with a plan to put riprap under the culvert. And I'm not going to take any words out of your mouth, but
Yes.
you can
Yes,
speak a
I'm
little
willing.
bit more towards what you would like to do in terms of a formal application to get this done.
Could you
I would-
identify yourself for the record, please, and then you can proceed.
Chris Ann Vogt.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm amenable to putting down riprap where the water enters our property.
Okay.
We don't intend to put any more dirt in or do anything right now until spring, if that's okay with you guys.
Okay, yeah, there shouldn't be any more disturbance anyway, if anything, until we resolve this
Okay.
issue. So you're saying, yeah, right, and that's part of our cease and desist, not to do it.
Okay, so if we're not gonna put more dirt down, do I actually need to put hay bales down? Won't just putting a rocks, the rock splash, the water,
The splash pad.
the splash pad, the splash pad. Will that be sufficient?
Are we talking about right where the water enters, leaves the road into the,
Yes.
Correct.
I mean, I guess I'm going by what the town, what, I guess Victor Benny did this. I mean, we just want to eliminate any erosion.
I mean,
you
it's,
know?
it's
There's
really
dirt.
just 2 hay bales in the middle of the
Yeah.
ditch.
75 feet in, so like in the middle of that area.
Well, I think I think we can negotiate this. I'm not sure if 75
Okay.
feet is a necessary distance, but we want to
Very
put
good.
some controls in there to take care of the erosion so it doesn't get closer to the river.
Absolutely, I think, I'll speak for myself, but I support that, I know the other agency members, but I think we definitely, anything we do to reduce erosion until we can get this stabilized, which might not happen till the spring, who knows, if we
Well-
could actually do some plantings, so.
I guess I read this differently. It says 3 hay bales to be installed at 75-foot intervals. So there'd be one set, then another set,
Correct.
and another set.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's not just 2 hay bales by the discharge, it's a series of hay bales down towards the river,
Correct.
correct?
Yes,
So as long as it's
Okay.
understood, it's just not 2 hay bales, it's a series of hay bales.
correct.
That
Yeah.
is,
Excuse me one second, Frank, what are you, are you reading from the actual application?
No, I'm reading from the email that Victor Benny, that we got this
Oh,
afternoon.
okay.
It says, provide a total of 3 temporary hay bale check dams to be
Temporary.
installed at 75
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
feet
temporary.
intervals
Okay.
along the length of the existing ditch.
That's until the
And
stuff
is
goes
this
in.
considered a temporary solution?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
when would that solution end? When can we remove
Well-
the hay bales?
The way I read this is, the other component of this is there's a seed mix you need to put down. And once once these grasses take hold and grow to hold the land stable, then you can take them out. That's how I interpret because he tells you, did you get this?
Okay.
It says
Yeah,
provide for
so-
stabilization
so-
of disturbed areas, yeah.
Yeah, so then he says, put down the seed mix. Once the seed grows, which would be sometime in the spring, right? Once you have stable growth, then you can take them down.
Because once
The
there's
hay.
plantings, you won't need the hay, that's just temporary. Right now, there's dirt, and any water that sheets over that is gonna, move sediment probably into the Farm River, which is just a temporary measure.
What you people refer to as the water course never reached the river before.
It doesn't matter, this is what our town engineer looked at, and you can say whatever you like. They reviewed it, looked at it, we're just trying to go by, and he's kind of our authority. He's asking us to put, some erosions, like hay bales and things to prevent erosion. We do this, yours is not the only rodeo that we've done. This is kind of standard procedure for anywhere that's been disturbed, and that where there'd be a possibility of sediment making it to the Farm River. So it's something we do for everything. And also.
Or into any wetland.
Right, right. We do this for anything. And also, it kind of leads into, David, maybe we're going to cover, but the Regional Water Authority, they actually made a recommendation. The first thing they say, the drainage swale should be stabilized to prevent erosion during storm events. And that's what our town engineer has basically said.
Okay, but we don't have to address this until the spring, correct?
I believe this should go as
Now.
soon as
Yeah.
possible.
Okay.
Because rain's going to happen, and, if we wait till the spring, damage could be done, so.
May I ask, have you seen the letter from the Regional Water Authority?
No, I haven't.
I did not forward that to her.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the Regional Water Authority says the drainage swale, first of all, that's watershed land. The Farm River's public water supply watershed. And the Regional Water Authority said in their letter, the drainage swale should be stabilized to prevent further erosion during storm events, which means doing the bales now. And the property owner, town, and Connecticut DOT should develop an acceptable inspection and maintenance plan for the swale.
I guess we'll have to table this yet again.
Well, I think that we have most of the solution, and I think we can come up with a plan.
But I'm not paying for anything. It's not my dirt at all.
A solution,
They're putting dirt onto my property. I mean, I'm not the one putting the dirt on my property. The state is. I understand, Dave, that you contact the state and they don't want to do nothing. All right? But why is it my problem? I understand why it's my problem that they're taking their dirt and their road, the state road, put it on my property with the garbage, because I have pictures of all the garbage in the last month that went onto my property. I'm not allowed to put garbage on his front lawn, or her front lawn, or your front lawn, because it's against the law. Isn't it?
Let's,
So I'm not allowed to, excuse me.
let's stay to the subject. Chris, can you stay? And we can work out a plan.
I want my cease and desist lifted.
I understand that, but we're talking about the application. We're not talking about the...
I just want my cease and desist lifted.
Correct,
But
but
you're
you're-
going against, I gave,
Not
hope you
gonna
showed
happen.
all these people
Steve.
the law.
Sorry.
What we're telling you is that we're talking about the application. What David is trying to say
I
to
didn't need a
you.
permit to do any of this.
Okay, we beg to differ. And, you know, if this is where
You
this
can
is going to
differentiate.
go,
You can
we're just going to
differentiate
table
why.
this.
But
I don't
I
even
know
know.
my laws.
I'm going to ask David a question, please. Do you actually have this application, David, for the, under new business?
Did they see all the laws,
Yes.
David, that I submitted to you?
So we can accept that
Color of
tonight.
law.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
that's fine.
The color of law, you showed them all that?
So,
They've seen it, read
Yeah,
it?
but you're out of order at the moment.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
we're discussing this now. So,
I
the one thing
apologize.
we can do is we can vote just to accept it, and then if we can, we can discuss it. What do you guys think?
What are we accepting?
The application 2029, which we're trying to get to that, but we're not, but the other issue is the cease and desist.
Well, the application, the way I recall it, wasn't complete. So we've never seen a complete application
Right.
to accept.
Right, David has that application, we can't really do anything with it today, we need time to review it. All I'm saying is we can make a motion to accept it, that's, or you've already got it, I guess. I'm just-
Well, I have the original application that Frank's referring to.
Okay, so it hasn't been revised since then or anything?
Correct,
And that's the plan that you still want to work out.
correct.
Gotcha, okay. So you already have that, I thought this was, I was
I
under the
think,
impression it's not
we're
appealable.
getting closer and closer, but, you know, my time is limited,
I understand.
and Chris has been great to work with, and
Fine.
she's flexible, and
That's
she
that's
wants...
because my wife is caving to you people. I'm not gonna cave. Dave, did you show them all the papers I gave you?
Oh, yeah, even the attorney
You've read
has...
them all? Everybody's read them all?
Yep,
Okay, you've read my color of law? You've read it from front to top to back? You're violating my rights.
Let's finish up the
let's just
application.
finish this, so my question to the agency members that are here, we have the cease and desist, we're just gonna ignore that for now, we're not
We're just
lifting
doing
it.
the
We're
application.
working on the application, just so I make that clear for everyone, because the applicant brought that up, so I wanna make that clear. So, at this point then, the only thing we can do is then, David, you said you would be willing to work with the applicant and try to fine tune it, maybe something that we could discuss at the next meeting that we can exactly look at and discuss, is everyone okay with that?
As long as Victor's involved to make sure
Yeah.
it meets what he wants and what the Regional Water Authority needs, yes.
Right, because we always follow their guidelines for the most part, because, you know, they kind of help.
And we meet once a month, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So you don't think you can accept the application incomplete at this point?
I will.
Will you be able to rule on it at your next meeting?
I can't, until I see it, I can't say.
No, but if it's approvable at your
Oh,
next
if
meeting?
you give us a copy before, hopefully get it before then, we can look at it, we can make, you form an opinion and just determine, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's a possibility. I won't say, you
No,
know,
I'm just saying, if it's approvable.
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
absolutely.
So the best thing now, then, I think what we should do is maybe vote to table it in lieu of what David is going to do and try to work
Okay.
with the applicant and maybe hopefully get an application that can work.
So I make a motion to table application number 2022-19,
Does that mean all of them?
26 Forest Road Site Plan.
Do we have a
I
second?
second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
So that's what we'll do then. Okay.
He's not threatening you, he's asking if he's done. We are done.
Yeah, we're done for
We are
today. We're
done.
tabling
All
it
right,
and
I-
we're working
I
with
just
David on the
wanted,
application. Yep.
to proceed with a lawsuit, and everybody will be
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can do
Okay,
what you like.
I'm just letting you know.
Yep, that, go,
Okay.
you
I'm
have
gonna-
every right as a citizen
I'm
to
gonna start the
do.
process,
Yep.
so,
Okay.
whatever.
Yep. So let's move on to item 6, Wetland Enforcement Officer's Report. There's A through F. David, if you want to go through those one by one and give us an update.
The 213 Forest Road, I've spoken to them a couple of times this week, and I have a meeting with them on site next week.
Oh, okay. Very good.
The culverts at 127, I'll just hand this out to you. I did draft a letter today.
Thank you.
Wait, Jerry wants to say something,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'd like to go back to item A about the violation at 213 Forest Road. I know you're going to be rewriting the minutes, but the whole description of how that all began several years back in the existing minutes as written is totally inaccurate. It doesn't tell the story at all. I mean, it says that the gentleman started off by wanting to clean up the pond. That was the last thing he wanted to do.
Yeah, and the trench that he's dug now is currently draining into the spillway.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to be talking about a violation when the violation is written entirely incorrectly.
We
Yeah,
know, the
but-
minutes are gonna be rewritten,
Yeah.
Jared, they're
Okay.
inaccurate.
And
Okay.
hopefully David will go out and maybe make some progress with.
We'll start over.
Yeah, well, maybe that would be good. Maybe we could, right, a fresh start might be good for that. So we appreciate you.
All
taking
right,
care of
thank
that.
you.
The 363
Go ahead, Joe.
Totoket Road, 127 Forest Road, there is a permit to remove the culverts. We don't really have specific details as to how they're going to de-water or do anything, right?
Right,
So in this letter, amongst other things, in the first paragraph, I've said, please provide me with a timeline for this project and more details as to the process. There are other easements missing that have not been granted to the town. There are boulders that were to be placed
that haven't been pushed
between
yet.
the wetlands that are not there.
Yeah.
There was verbiage that was supposed to be in the deeds that's not there. There's a lot of loose ends on that subdivision. So this is sort of a laundry list of things to do, which includes
Good.
interests of the Inland Wetlands Commission as well as the culverts specifically.
And I'm glad you're addressing them all at
Me.
once. I mean, the culverts are main focus, but these other things need to be done too. So they should probably like present to them and let them
Me.
know what
Right.
needs to be done. Sorry, Jerry.
That's okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but might I make a suggestion regarding the culverts, and perhaps Victor can weigh in on that?
Victor's not here.
You know, it is a major disturbance to the river to try to pull those culverts entirely out of there, but if one were to cut, actually saw off the top half of each one of those pipes, and then left the remaining pipes, half pipes, in the riverbed, I don't see that they would be causing any problem, as well as they would be limiting or eliminating access to the other side, which was part of the reason we wanted to do it in the first place.
I don't know about that, Jerry, that's
Yeah.
still creating a barrier to the
Yeah.
fish.
And the
I
Farm River-
don't think it's creating a barrier at all if they're open and the culverts. I suspect that the culverts are deep enough in the riverbed that you've got sufficient water running through them. Is that not the case?
Well,
From what I remember, no, the culverts are up from the stream bed and the water goes around the side whenever it overflows. So it doesn't even go through the culverts, it tries to make its way around the culverts.
And then in addition to that, the Farm River review that just was held the last year recommended that those culverts be physically removed.
Right, so
Okay.
that the soil
All
can
right,
transport
I've got
itself.
no argument with that whatsoever. I just thought I would throw that out.
And if I remember, like you said, because the culverts were so high and being washed through, they were almost really up down the meadow. I understand what Jerry's saying, but it's not like we're gonna be, pulling it. It should be hopefully a minimal disturbance once, after the initial pull.
Well,
so.
you're just gonna have some sediment running down the river,
Yep.
which is gonna
It
settle
will
out
settle.
somewhere along the way anyways. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, if you can get the whole thing out of there, it's a better situation. Okay.
Very good. So I guess we can move on to item C.
So Greg and I have started working on that. That's the homeowner's guide to wetlands and
Oh,
buffers.
good.
So we're starting to work on that. We talked this week.
Terrific. That's good. No, we appreciate you,
Awesome.
you're working on that. I'm sure when you're
Yep.
done,
Thank you.
it'll be a beautiful document. Thank you. So I guess next would be D, discussion regarding cutting, trimming under the power lines. And David did send us that map,
Yep.
again, just to double check, which was very
And the
helpful.
verbiage.
And the verbiage.
And the
yes.
verbiage.
Yes.
And I think we basically need a jurisdictional ruling as to whether it's a permitted use as of right, or whether it's a non-regulated use, or whether it needs a permit and it's a regulated use. I would suggest that it's conservation of land, it's maintenance, it's a right-of-way that's been there, they're not digging into the soil, they're not filling, they're not doing anything to the wetland other than basically mowing and maintaining it. So I would suggest that it's a non-regulated use. But you're the commission, and if they need a permit, they need a permit.
I mean, I'm sure I'm trying to remember the last time we got a request of this, but I'm sure, I mean.
Trying to remember.
Trying to remember when but I mean, it's a reasonable request to maintain. I mean, we all, are concerned when we don't have any power. They certainly need to do some minimal amount of maintenance and cleaning so they can get access there. Heaven forbid they need to repair the power lines.
And they put down those wooden, I think they're not wood, but those artificial roads for the equipment to go on too.
Like big
correct?
timbers, like 8x8s, I think they're huge. I know you see, I've seen them over on, off the Mill Road.
They'll put mats
Yeah.
down.
Mats
Yeah.
or-
Those are always temporary, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it if they can, minimize, without walking it and seeing it, there's areas that are probably, like soil, that are wetlands defined by soil, but I just don't know how many wet areas, but if they're using good techniques and everything, I don't have a big problem with it. How long would the project take, David? Do you happen to know that, or? know it's a big- it's a
I do
big
not know
project.
that. I would say it would take a couple weeks.
And they probably do it during a period of, like in the summer, I would imagine they want to do it like June, July, August when
I
there's.
think they'd like to do it now while it's
Oh, really?
frozen.
Oh, okay, oh, okay.
Well, it's frozen, yeah.
True, I understand that, yeah, and this weekend it's gonna be frozen.
It has to be done.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's when the stuff's not in bloom, it's a whole lot easier to.
True,
cut
when you have
the,
foliage and
golden
everything, you're
brown.
right, they can see that, I see what you mean, right, you can get to it and see better, okay. I don't really have a big problem with it, I don't know how other
I don't have an
neighbors
issue
feel.
with it either.
I don't have an issue at
Okay,
all.
then basically, everyone's saying that we support it, and I don't think we need a permit for this
Okay,
particular.
so do you want to make a
A motion.
motion of
Yeah.
a jurisdictional ruling that it's not a regulated activity?
If someone would like to make that motion.
Do you wanna do it?
Hang on.
Yeah. I don't know about not being regulated, but I certainly wouldn't stand in their way of doing it.
I guess
I
it's,
don't know what the difference is.
I guess if we thought it was a significant activity, you know what I mean?
Then we have to permit it
Yeah,
each
we have to
time.
permit it each time, and
Do we have the actual address that it's being referenced to?
it was on
I
the,
would call it the UI easement in south of Route 80 and North Branford, between Branford Road and Setokit Road.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Okay. I move that the UI easement between Branford Road and Tucket Road south of Route 80 be ruled as jurisdictional, that this is not a regulated activity.
I'll second that.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. passes, they can go ahead and do their
Perfect.
maintenance.
Thank you.
Okay. And I guess the last thing would be item F.
No, E.
I'm
No,
sorry,
E.
E, did I miss
You're
something?
skipping
I'm sorry,
two.
E, yep, checked off there. E, yes, E could be the next one. 927 Tucket Road, DA approval.
927 Toket Road is a small garage, 25 by 25 in the upland review area. It had no impact on the wetlands. So I approved that.
Okay, so David, just so you know, in the past, anytime our agent has made approvals, he's still brought it to us so we could see the plans and everything, just in
Okay.
case there's been a problem.
So I will
Okay.
bring these plans to you, copies of them,
That's
or I'll
fine.
email
Yeah,
them
we just
to you.
review it.
Yep.
It's not, we usually support you on everything. It's just that it's better that if someone ever comes to us and asks, that we can say we've looked at it, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, you've acted in good, as part of our regulations, but then if anyone questions us, they can say, we can say, we've looked at it and we approved it, basically, or just,
Even though Perkins did it.
yeah. But we do get, we do get questions.
Yes, we do.
Right.
It's
You gotta be
nothing, it has
careful.
nothing to do with your judgment. We trust you. It's just
You gotta be careful when you're shopping at the Big Y and who you run into, right?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
53 Clear Lake Road is a small garage, 24 by 24. It's actually being installed on the bituminous driveway at the property. The wetlands are in back of the property, behind the house, downhill, and significantly away from the wetlands.
We did this one, we walked this one.
Is this the one we walked? The stream is behind the house,
Yes,
down
the
to the woods?
little, there's a little pond, a little stream, and
It's
then
at
the
the end of the
lake.
little
Yep.
driveway,
And
private driveway.
we
yeah.
suggested a new spot for it. See, and this is one of the reasons why we sometimes take them, because we walked the property and we suggested a new place for the garage.
But if they're putting it on the paved driveway already,
Yeah,
it's probably.
yeah, that's better.
That's not what they were gonna do originally.
No,
No.
they were gonna do it on their lawn.
Yeah.
But I think we
All
all
right.
agreed that,
Mm-hmm.
including the owner, our suggestion, he actually agreed it might even be better,
Yep.
which is why we do those sidewalks.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, when you're done with, I just have one question.
Yep, we're
Because
done.
you're mentioning sidewalks. Did we ever get a sidewalk approved for the 626 Forest Road?
No.
Or are the homeowners still denying us access?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
For where?
626 Forest Road.
Yeah.
He wants to know if we've done a sidewalk on that yet.
We haven't, yeah.
Right.
Our only choice as management would be standing on the road and looking, so. we
Yeah,
haven't
no,
done it.
I read that we were denied access.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then unless anyone has anything else, or you, David, if you have anything else, we can make a motion to adjourn, or is,
I think that would be appropriate.
okay? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second? Very good. And all in favor?
Third,
Bye.
yep.
All in favor? Aye.
Bye, Jerry.
Bye,
Thank
Jerry.
you, Frank.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
everybody. Good night.